Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 3 of this Hockey Legacy Manager 25 San Jose Sharks career mode here on my channel. Today we are going to be getting through the 2025-26 regular season, seeing who manages to win the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes, because he is one of the biggest prospects coming up that we have seen in a long time, since Connor Bedard, really. So, looking at the comments from last episode, I left you guys with the question of who should we trade this upcoming season? Let me know below. And first things first, we did have a correction from the King LJ8KJ saying you should say Gawanke is how you say our one defenseman's name. I don't believe he's actually signed yet, which is why he's not showing up there. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe we didn't sign him. Hold on a second. Oh no, he's there. I'm just not seeing him in our lineup. Oh, he's right there. That's why. Yeah, Leon Gawanke. But yeah, we'll have to put a face on him at some point here now. He had a really good season with Jyväskylä last year, but the next comment here was from The Real Divinity, and this one, get some popcorn for this one, guys, because this was a long comment, but it was an amazing comment. As far as he said, drafting Misa was a steal for sure, a great 1-2 punch with him and Celebrini. So yeah, that was the first part of the comment. He said the Eklunds can be potentially like the Sedin twins, lol. Both left wingers too. Otherwise, both great and would contribute to the win production in the near future when Vic makes his debut. So yeah, that was another fun thing that we managed to do, is we managed to get Victor Eklund as well. Of course, William Eklund's brother. And then yeah, Misa was a great draft pick as well. And then as far as trading players goes, he said trading Cunnin, Kostin, Vlasic, and Benning would be nice ones to do, since they're not going to be playing in the NHL soon due to other players who are going to be higher rated overall in the lineup. Benning and Vlasic are just formalities, as they're trying to make a winning culture in San Jose, which is accurate. He said reloading on a few more draft picks prospects can be the tipping point. Hope it's a great start to the season. More W's, less L's. Go Etanyos' Sharks. So a fabulous comment there from The Real Divinity. Just knocked that one out of the park. But yeah, Cunnin, Kostin, there's quite a few players that we can, stock up on some picks with by trading. And, really overall, this team is getting to a point where really we're just missing a few pieces, a few picks, a few players that once they develop and once they become players, then we're going to be set. So, with that in mind, let's go back to the office. Look at our current picks. We only have those 2 first-round picks, ours and Colorado's. We'll be looking to add a few more in those next couple of rounds. Obviously, only 6 picks throughout the 7 rounds is not enough for a rebuilding team like the Sharks here. And yeah, we're gonna have a bit of work to do before we get moving here. So, first things first, let's go and make some trades. Okay guys, so honestly, when looking at the trades and the options that we have, we don't have a ton of options, mainly just because we're not trading super highly valuable players, such as, our top end prospects or anything like that. We're not really trading anybody of any real value here, unfortunately, with these trades. So when you look at where the guys' values actually fall to, it becomes a little bit disappointing as far as, we have Pettersson and Cott in the lineup, whereas trading those guys wouldn't be a potentially harming thing. If we move them, those guys are a little bit younger. They're not a lot younger, so we could actually just stick with, if we went like this and went Kostin and Cunnin in the lineup instead, we could probably get better value back, because I was looking at the values on those guys. Those guys are just cap-eating contracts right now, if I'm being completely honest. When we go to find trade and we go to the very bottom, Cunnin, Kostin, Ruda, Vlasic, we can't really trade those guys without losing the trades. So, besides that, we did talk about Matt Benning. We can only really get 4th-round picks for Benning. We'll maybe wait until the deadline to move him and just see what his value kind of ends up looking like. Besides that, Martin Kaut and Jacob Peterson, we can probably get better offers for. Yeah, there's 23 offers here, so at the very worst, we're getting like a 3rd round pick, which is pretty good. It's a lot more of an improvement for that 1 year difference and not having a contract attached. So yeah, I think we could get Carolina's 2027 third. I'm looking for a 2026 third, so we could get Minnesota's pick from Chicago. That's not bad. Calgary's, that's 2027. We could get Dallas's pick as well from LA. We'll probably end up doing one of those ones. All right, so yeah, one of those 2026 thirds is going to be the one we go for. Let's go for Minnesota's. I think that's a good deal, so we'll swap that one out. We trade Martin Cott, and then we're also going to trade Jacob Peterson. And looks like, okay, 2027 third. It's 4th rounders this year, 3rd rounders next year for draft picks. So let's do Florida's 3rd rounder next year. That works for me. And then finally, we'll probably look to move like Giovanni Smith, 6th round picks. Again, we can have 5th round picks way down the road for him. And yeah, these guys don't cost much, but there are certain teams interested. So we'll go with, I'm going to bet on Columbus still being bad in 2030. That's 5 years down the road, but that's probably not a horrible bet. So those are the trades we're going to make for now. Some pretty big trades, honestly, but we will take it. And we will get rolling on the calendar here now. So our team is pretty much locked and loaded, ready to go. We got our few subs. We've got a couple guys that will probably end up growing here. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, let's just simulate up to day 1 of the regular season. We did manage to sign Xavier Villieu. And as you can see, certain guys like Bruno Richardson and Brandon Coe grew drastically. Other guys like Askarov and Smith grew a little bit. Daigle with +2. That was pretty much it. A lot of regression there, honestly, from our team. Ooh, this is not a bad trade. Okay, so we get offered Oliver Janssen, who's a left-wing power forward, top 6 potential, as a 2nd rounder in this last year. That's a good player. And we get offered Eric Chernak, who's a big cap dump, obviously, and a 1st round pick in the Landon DuPont year, in exchange for a 4th and 7th in 4th this year, a 7th 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road. We're taking this. This is a great deal. I'm absolutely going to do this. So, boom. Big trade there. We get offered a 7th for Josh Bailey. Josh Bailey. I'm going to decline that one just for now. We'll get our auto-assigned scouting going. We're not going to make a Brett Berard trade because I like Gawanke a little bit more. All right. I'm just going to stop, if I can, stop up the simulation. Here we get a big trade offer for Mario Ferraro. It includes Grondin, Cameron Hillis, Joel Teasdale, and Montreal's 1st this year. Where did the Canadians finish last year? Because obviously losing Ferraro, he's an 87 rated defender. He's a good defenseman. But losing Ferraro would be detrimental. Let me just look at the league history here. Where did they pick? They picked 1st. They won the lottery last year. So, honestly, I think if Montreal added a defenseman like this, they would be pushing contention. Because, yeah, that's a pretty deep team, honestly, in my opinion. Like, I think they could do well. Demidov's there, too. That's such a sick forward group. Like, that is a filthy good forward group in Montreal. So, yeah, I'm a little scared to trade them a defenseman. I really don't think the 1st round pick's going to be anywhere near the top of the draft again. Plus, it can't win logistically because, well, I guess it could win, actually. because they went exactly a 5-year span, 2020 for Slavkovsky, and then it was 2020 for Slavkovsky, right? Or am I tripping? Was it 2022? It might have been 2022. Hold on. History. Oh, okay, no. So they cannot win another draft lottery for 2 more years. So yeah, that's just simply it. They can't win another lottery for 2 years. But yeah, Hagen's at 85 is sick. So, all right. One other thing I'm going to do here, now that our lineup's gotten switched around a bit, we're going to put Chernak in for Benin, and then I'm going to trade Benin. Unless we can get a much better trade offer for Gwanki, which we might, but we'll see. Nothing available? Perfect. Alright, so Matt Benin it is. And we'll get nothing for him either. Okay. Really? Nobody wants Matt Benin? That seems a little suspect to me. Nobody wants Matt Benin. Really? Okay, literally nobody wants Matt Benin. So I suppose that's how it's going to roll then. All right, let's finish off these last couple days, go to captaincy, and fill in this last spot. So obviously Ferraro is going to hold a captaincy. And then honestly, I'm thinking like we will probably trade Granlund. Well, maybe we won't. No, let's hold on to Granlund. Who else has been here a long time? I like these young guys, but I just don't know if they're quite ready yet for captaincy. I'm thinking maybe like a... Let's go with the Mikael Granlund for now. We'll name him as the second alternate there. And yeah, we do need to retire some jersey numbers here soon, but with the thrill of the season starting, we're one of the few teams that doesn't have any rookies this year, so that's gonna be fun. But I guess we'll see how player development goes. Also, I do need to actually just go in here to all of our newest players and just set a new training style for them. So just make sure that they're actually getting training done, because I did notice this. The game doesn't auto set your training for like newly acquired players, so that is something we need to just keep an eye on. But we do have Tampa Bay's first round pick next year, so that is probably going to be quite beneficial to us. All right, time to simulate through the first month of the season and see where our team ends up. So, best lines, the AHL, we're not really worried about that. Henry Thrun's out 3 days with a back injury. We'll put him back in the lineup. He's going in. Keys going out. Obviously, our team's going to be bad still. We're going to be rolling with $13-14 million worth of cap space that's just unused. But hopefully, we'll get a couple trade offers because of that. So we start off the season 3-6. We are second last in the division, and I would say probably one of the last place teams in the league. Yeah, we're 28th. So a couple other teams. Wow, Buffalo got off to a horrendous start. But there's lots of time left, so we'll continue simulating on here. Liam Gilmartin just keeps getting injured. Bigger trade offer. This time from Montreal, but again, still not worthwhile for Mario Ferraro in my opinion. We're gonna make sure Thrun keeps getting training done here. Yeah, Eklund should be a sniper by December of this year, so that's exciting. How are we doing player growth wise? Wow, Askarob's up to an 88. That is looking nice. He's gonna be a legitimate goalie. He's not just some shot in the dark kind of goalie. He's looking really good. +2 growth from Dickinson, not bad. Misa's not growing though, so that's not ideal. Let's just focus him on offense then, I guess, because we need him to be growing. There's just no other way to put that. Michael Misa needs to be developing. So, all right, yeah, that's our development schedule so far. We've got obviously Gavin McKenna is the #1 player. Ronquist will be good, but yeah, no, some definite noteworthy growth from specific players. I'm interested to see how good Ronquist is, because he's a player we're definitely going to be interested in. But there's quite a few guys in here that, they look good. It's just a matter of, are they going to turn out? Are they going to be really good by the time the draft rolls around? And are we going to be in a drafting position for them? So let's go back to the calendar. Continue simulating on English. Ethan, goodness gracious. And all right, Will Smith is now done his development of becoming a right wing player, so that is awesome. He can now play both positions. And what we are going to focus on now is developing his, I guess, hitting? Sure, let's do that. Why not? So that now changes our complexity within the team a little bit, as far as we can put together this absolutely locked and loaded young gun line that just looks amazing. I should hit potential. There we go. Yeah, that top line just looks so good. It's going to be really fun in the future. And I like that we don't necessarily have to draft a specific player type, because you can just train players into becoming snipers or whatever. Yeah, Ruta's healthy, and as we finish off this month, we are now 8, 14-1, and Celebrini's got the most points with 18 points throughout those 23 games. So yeah, again, not anywhere near a point per game production, but our team is obviously not good. And if we go to the actual standings to look, we are third last, just St. Louis and Buffalo sitting ahead of us. Behind us as far as points go. So yeah, that's pretty much it for where we're sitting at right now. We got a new Ruta baby, Kevin Ruta. That's a great name. And all right, as we simulate the next month, we are cooking through this month. We get offered an interesting trade offer here from the Minnesota Wild, including Charlie Strommel, Henry Muse, and Thomas Grosnick. That is absolutely not worth the 2 players we'd be giving up. So we'll continue on. We lose Vlasic to a concussion for a month, and a bunch of players getting waived here. That's interesting. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of guys going to the World Juniors. That'll be interesting to see how that tournament plays out. And all right, we'll finish off, well now we're 14-22-2 for 30 points, sitting probably further up the table. Nope, still 30th. Chicago has dropped down there. St. Louis has dropped even further down. They're sitting at just 29 points. So yeah, you can see that Gavin McKenna sweepstakes are legit, as far as there are multiple teams really pushing for that. Ooh, that's a bigger trade offer. So we get offered 2 first-round picks and Yevgeny Oksentyuk in exchange for Ferraro and Gushchin. Again, don't really want to trade either of these guys, but we're always open to offers. Again, this is probably one of the best trade offers we're going to get, and I'm still going to say no to it. I just don't feel the need to make that trade. So let's make sure Mukhamadullin gets more training in here. We'll throw his shooting into the blender. And a couple guys growing a bit there. Nice. All right. This defenseman's got to be good. He's an offensive defenseman. Okay. I do wonder if he's franchise or not, though, because I mean, we'll have to wait and see, obviously. But, all right, so let's continue on. We are almost into February now. And here's the stats from the World Junior. So a couple guys at a point per game. Victor Eklund, Michael Misa, and Sam Dickinson. Go figure. Gabriel Daigle wins 7 out of 7 games with a .931 save percentage. No shutouts somehow, though. So, yeah, Canada obviously ended up winning if he won all 7 games. And, all right, Vegas has somehow managed to leapfrog us down the standings. That is interesting. I cannot say I would have predicted that at all. Vegas, hey? Vegas is the bottom team in the league now by a couple points, actually. That's interesting. Definitely not what I was expecting. They do have their own first-round pick this year in 2026. But, yeah, that was something else for sure. Okay. It'd be nice to get a second-round pick here, but we're going to have to see what we could potentially get for certain players. So it'd be really nice if Celebrini could, you know, start producing a little more as far as his points go. But yeah, you know, I am really thinking about going to player development and just setting this as auto assign. That is an option. So yeah, let's maybe try that and see if that changes players development a bit, because obviously if you see like this will change, yeah, it changes all the rest of the depth players, which is great, and then that will change once we get a little further into it. Yeah, Ronquist is a high rated offensive defenseman, so he's going to be pretty good too. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on him, because he could be a potentially very well-fitting piece here in this team in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see. And besides that, where is the Tampa Bay Lightning situated right now? They're in 12th place, so maybe we look to trade that pick. Sorry, not Tampa Bay, Colorado. Obviously, Colorado's going to be top of the table, yeah. So yeah, maybe we look to trade that pick. We'll see. There. Okay, cool. All right, we'll continue on to, I guess, the trade deadline now. Trade deadline is going to be interesting because we're going to get a ton of trade offers. Whoa, that's a better trade offer for sure. 3 decent prospects. Nothing crazy, but 3 decent prospects in exchange for Mario Ferraro. I'm still going to decline Dallas there. Dallas is pushing pretty hard, though, for this Mario Ferraro trade. There you go. Yeah, look at that. Arcuri and a first-round pick. Again, I'm going to decline. 3 seconds and Jack Finley. I'm also going to decline that one. Interesting trade offer there. Also not going to take that one, even though I'm pretty sure that Winnipeg pick probably has some decent value. They try that same trade offer again. I'm also going to decline that one. But yeah, we are getting a ton of trade offers here. All right, so we're going to get into the trade deadline here, and we'll see what kind of trade offers exist here. So again, I didn't really like the Granlund market. It just didn't look very good. Yeah. Just all third-round picks, really, and it's like, I want a second for him, but I don't think we're going to get one. It's the quality of prospects and players available here. Sean Farrell is okay. Not a player I'm really, pursuing or anything like that. We get an interesting trade offer here from Vancouver, Pavel Suchi, and 2027 first. We're not going to do that. Yeah, just nothing I'm really interested in. What's the market for Cody Ceci like? Nothing available again. All right, so we are just sitting here. You guys can see the timer in the top corner. We're just sitting here waiting, really, for some trade offer to come in for probably Mario Ferraro that's big enough to really actually make sense. I do wonder, what is the Askarov market like? We could obviously get some other really good players. I just don't know if any of them are really guys that I'm like, oh yeah, we want that guy or we need that guy. Like, not really. Lindstrom would be fun. Along with Brindley. You know, that's not a horrible trade offer for an elite goalie. Columbus is definitely in need of one. I don't like Chicago's package. This one, yeah, that could get us our offensive defenseman we're looking for, and Zane Parek's 82 rated, so that's a potential option as well. Again, we have Daigle coming up the ranks. He's going to be ready by next season, probably as a backup. Jordan Gavin's looking good too in... Where even is he? Is he LA? No. Montreal. Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense. Kind of. Jordan Gavin's an option. I don't really like that. That's actually a sick package, but I don't quite like that package. And then Barker in a first, we're not doing that. And then Spence from Nashville. Yeah. Again, just not quite the player. The only one I really liked out of all those trade offers was the Zane Parek trade. You'd get Samuel Honzek too, who's another, big left-wing power forward, but Parek is, yeah, he's a good defenseman for sure. He's growing very efficiently right now in Kansas City. Yeah, one of those guys that, would really pair nicely with a Sam Dickinson, but I think we're just going to wait on that. I do like the team. Like, I'm not saying that I don't like the group that we're building here. Like, by exploring Askarov trades, I'm not saying I don't like Askarov. I think he's a great goalie. I just think he is probably also limiting our losing potential for what we would be, potentially getting back the other way for a Gavin McKenna potentially. But yeah, I'm not taking that trade. But yeah, we just don't really have a lot of other goalies that could play in that position right now. So that's why I haven't actually made any trades. We are starting to run pretty low on time here, so I don't know if anybody's going to be able to make that Ferraro trade that we're, kind of expecting. There's not really a lot of trades that I feel like making here, unfortunately, so I apologize for the lack of entertaining content here, but, the Askarov trade options are maybe something we'll explore a little bit further down the road once we get an extension done on him and it really ups his value a little more. Here's another Ferraro trade scenario. We would get Adam Sikora and a first in exchange for a Ferraro. Again, just not enough. Like, if you would have tacked on maybe a second round pick this year and that first, maybe, but even then, I just don't really feel like it. That's just not quite enough value in exchange for an 87 rated defenseman who's going to very positively impact your team. So yeah, we'll finish up this trade deadline here. And all right, trade deadline's over. And there's all the trades that got made. So, honestly, it's kind of just a black kind of trade deadline. Like, nothing super insane. Obviously, decent players. Oh, actually, Ovi to the Canucks. Okay, that was one I didn't catch until just now. But apart from that, Rasmus Anderson got moved. Okay. And that's kind of it. All right, so we'll finish off the calendar sim here. We got a month and a little bit left to go. And as we cook through here, looks like we have managed to leapfrog Vegas down to the bottom. By the looks of it, it's close. It's a very close race here, 63 points apiece, and then we leapfrog Vegas back up. Okay, then. So Vegas is just fighting for their lives to get that number one pick. They really, really want it. But, watch them end up winning both of their last games. That'd be really funny. Gushchin finishes shot blocking, a bunch of other prospect updates and stuff. Obviously, it would be great to have the best odds going into this draft lottery for Gavin McKenna, because Gavin McKenna would be a top line left winger for our team, no questions asked. And yeah, well, we have other players developing nicely over here. I just would love to get a player like Gavin McKenna. Obviously, you put those two, you had a 1-2 punch like that of number one guys with the forward core that we already have. That would be a very, very nice spot to be at. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to find out here pretty quickly as to what's actually going to happen. But, you know what, let's sim one more day, see if Vegas wins a game. I don't think they did, so we'll simulate up again. We lose Eklund to a groin injury, and 65 points seems to be the finishing spot. And Vegas does everything in their power not to win one more game. Well, they might. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, where's regulation wins? Is that even a stat in here? Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. Well, let's just simulate up like a couple more days. And did Vegas win anymore? I don't think they did, but we'll have to wait and see. They did not. All right, so Vegas will have the number one odds in this draft. They do have their own pick, so that's a little annoying, but whatever. That's the Vegas Golden Knights for you. And Colorado finishes very top of the table, meaning that we will have a top 4 pick and then a 32nd overall pick. So pretty much a second rounder at that point. All right. That is season 2. Obviously, you know, a few more wins, I would say. Let's actually, I guess we won't really be able to see. Oh no, I know how we can see. Hold on, we gotta go here, and then ta-da. So yeah, actually one more win. Literally 2 points difference. Almost an identical season to last year. We just had much worse plus-minus differential. But that is it. And of course, you know, our number one rivals land the number one sweepstake picks for the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes coming up here. But Sam Dickinson's looking good as far as his growth and development goes. A couple other guys like Richardson. Man, oh man, Richardson just grew like a weed. Yeah, 11 overall rating difference. He's 71 overall at 19 years old now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a potential jump in a guy like Bruno Richardson. That might actually happen. So let's sim through the playoffs here. There's your playoff matchups. Going to be a fun one this year, obviously. No Battle of Alberta, unfortunately. Not yet, at least. We could get that down the road, but that's always an entertaining one. Boston-Toronto is always a great series. And all right, let's see how the playoffs go here. And we'll advance a little further. Eklund's healthy. That's great. Gushchin's healthy. And your winner is the Edmonton Oilers. All right. They managed to beat Boston in 7, Seattle in 7, Vancouver in 6, and Nashville in 5. They were the second best team in the playoffs, only behind, of course, Colorado. So there's how it all played out. You probably can't see anything over my face cam, so let's go boop. There you go. Now you can see how the rest of that played out. Pretty sweet playoffs, honestly. That looks like it really would have been entertaining. 7-game series in both of the conference finals. Like, that doesn't happen very often at all. A wild card team making it to the conference finals happens surprisingly more often than you expect. And, all right, let's see the playoffs. No, player stats for the playoffs. Pasta scored 35 points. Jeez. We had the tied goal record. No, 21's the goal record. No, what's the goal record? It's 19, isn't it? I'm second guessing myself now. $19, yeah, it is, by Yuri Curry and Reggie Leach, obviously. Duh. Go figure. But, yeah, Boston and Edmonton had kind of duked it out there in the finals, but the Oilers do manage to get it done with all of their crazy moves that they made. I just really want to land in the top one or two, preferably. But yeah, let's send to the awards here. And for the awards ceremony, we'll reveal all, and it will be Nikolai Ehlers winning the Hart, Draisaitl winning the Conn Smythe, Ehlers wins the Art Ross, Matvei Petrov at 86 overall, is winning the Calder in 2026. 25-26, I guess. Marchand scores 63 goals for the Rocket. Kucherov gets 83 assists for the Ted Lindsay. McDavid wins back-to-back Selkies. That's interesting. Makar scores 99 points to win the Offensive Defenseman Trophy. Ekholm takes home the James Norris. And then Vasilevsky wins the Vezina. Jordan Gavin, World Juniors MVP, and Jared Bednar wins the Jack Adams. All right, so let's simulate over to retirement. We might see somebody retire this year. Anybody on our team? Not really. No big name retirees. The guy we're watching now is Logan Couture, as he's getting up there. I guess Mark-Edward Vlasic would probably retire his number 2. Justin Braun played 607 games for the franchise. That's very impressive. Not quite going to retire 61, but a very well-played career for Braun. He played, how many seasons for us? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 seasons in San Jose. Heck of a contributor to some of San Jose's best years, honestly. And yeah, that's impressive. Salary cap's up to $92 million. And all right, let's hope and pray, because we're just about done here, guys. But this is it. This is where maybe the fate of the San Jose Sharks franchise teeters in the balance, based on the results that we get coming up right here. Okay, guys, so sorry, I apologize. I'm just getting over a cold. You might have seen a Kleenex or something. Every time I sneeze or cough, I'm going to be cutting that out on the edits. So apologies for all of the transitions or edit cuts in this video. That's hopefully not going to be the case for a lot of these videos, but let's get to the lottery. Please, just a top 2 pick. We just don't want to lose position, even if Vegas wins it. Just, come on. No movement. Please, no movement. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's really interesting. Okay, do we stay at 2 or do we jump to 1? Let's go! Let's go! We move by 1 spot. Let's go. Okay. That was probably the year to win. I mean, was it the year to win, though? Because that means we can't win Landon DuPont next year. I freaking hope that was the year to win, because Gavin McKenna is going to be a beast, obviously. You look at the prospects here. Honestly, Ronquist is going to be real nice, too. You can't pass up a franchise power or a franchise center / winger, I guess. It's, where would he slot in? Obviously, yes, we still need more defense. And hold on, let's go look at next year's draft class. There's a couple other right D potentially in there, so I mean, it's not like we're completely just barren on defense, but we definitely need probably 1 or 2 more top end-ish right D. So maybe that's where an Askarov trade comes in. We'll see. Obviously, getting a left winger here just adds a ridiculous amount of depth to our top 6. Our top 6 is going to be absolutely filthy. We're going to be able to probably play, depending on how we develop players, we probably need a sniper for the top line still if Gavin McKenna slots in there. Because we could play Celebrini, McKenna, and then, again, a sniper on the right wing in exchange for what would be a Smith and then Eklund brothers line as the second line. That would be a sweet second line, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's going to go really well. But yeah, you can't turn down a high franchise player. It's going to be too good. We shouldn't even be... I'm considering Ronquist, I shouldn't be, because obviously Gavin McKenna is going to be the better player out of the two. But man, I mean, hey, what are the odds that we trade like Askarov for the second overall pick? That's potentially another play. Like, there are multiple options and approaches to how we're going to go about this draft. I do think we probably need to stack up a little more on defense, but the problem is there's just not a ton of, like, there's some defense. There's some good-looking defense in here. But if we go right and left D, like, yeah, maybe Trevino's good. Maybe Bates is good. You don't know. You don't know how good these guys are actually going to be. I'm sure Richie will probably be a top 4 type of D-man, but yeah, no, Gavin McKenna's just way too good a player to even consider taking a different player over him. So that is going to be something to look forward to. We've capped out on our top end picks for the next, how many more years? Until 2031. We can't win another top end pick now that we've managed to pull this off. That is absolutely awesome. I think we're going to have a heck of a time making this rebuild work with 2 number 1 overall picks within the span of 3 years. But we're going to have to find those last couple of defensive pieces from wherever, right? So that's, that's a big shift there right at the end. Vegas will still end up with a good player, obviously, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe we look to Columbus to trade that second overall pick. Like, that could work. We could potentially go for a 1-2 punch and get Ronquist and McKenna, because I would love that. That would be amazing, but we'll see if Columbus is even in the trade market for that goalie or not, as far as their top-end goalie for the future goes. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. What a crazy lottery it was to finish off this video. But yeah, that is where we're going to wrap this one up. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to go down below, drop a like, subscribe, hit notifications. And yeah, we're going to get to the next off season in the next video, and it is going to be a heck of a time as far as the team is slowly and steadily coming together. And I love that we just beat out Vegas by that 1 pick to win the number 1 overall slot in the Gavin McKenna draft year, because this team is going to be so good in the future. But yeah, that is it for me. Make sure to answer the comment that I've left down below. We'll take a look through the prospects here quickly as far as who else has top end kind of projectable potential. There's a ton of guys that look pretty good. Like, we could get a couple snipers here and there maybe, or who knows? Who knows how it plays out? Potential overall is obviously a very helpful little stat there, but that isn't make or break necessarily on how good a prospect becomes. But yeah, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to answer that one in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I will see you guys all in the next one.